Thank you all for waiting. I do appreciate it. How we doing, Mama? Welcome in. And thank you for the 7 streak, Mother. I do appreciate you. So this is your roast rate for the week. This is going to be the last one of Grace's Coffee Redemptions. So, Seraph, yours will be next week. We are finally back on track. I'm ready to go for our viewer requested roast. Oh no, that's a lie because we'll have the espresso one next week. Maybe we'll do 2 next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out then. The brightness is all of a sudden very, very high. Give me 1 second. Mess with that. I didn't realize. Either that or I'm just need to get more sun. Like all my settings got goofed. No, not that one. I want filters. Oh. Maybe it's just because I'm too close. I should probably not mess with this. Can I go down one at a time? Not. I feel like my brightness is too bright. Like ish. Yeah. 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 Look at me knowing things. Anyway, let's start again. This is your roast rate for the week. I appreciate y'all waiting around while we were making the coffee. This is Grace's last coffee redemption. So the biggest of shout outs to traditional Grace. Honey, thank you so much for all your continued support and everything you do for me. I would never, ever, ever be able to get this coffee if it weren't for Grace because you cannot order this coffee online. This is Cafe Don Diego. It says Honduras. What was it? Roatan. They do not have a website. There's no online presence at all. This is locally grown, locally roasted, and locally sold only. So big old thank you, Grace. I do appreciate you. Appreciate your support, and everything you do for the community. It means a lot to me. And you're the best, girl. Appreciate you. So that being said, um without any website, we don't have any taste notes. The only thing that we know about it is that the coffee is shade grown, which I feel is pretty interesting. Um, Shade grown, spring washed, and sun dried. You provide the taste notes. I know, but it makes me nervous if I don't have anything to like guide me to. Like if I don't have anything to pull out from the nethers. Like, yeah. Um, Unfortunately, Bug, I don't have any beans. This did come ground, so unfortunately, I know, I know. I'm here. See, look, beans, Bug. Look at the beans. Look at the stale beans. It's gonna have to do. It's the best I got. I'm still waiting on Father. He said he's gonna make me a bean box for grounds. So, but with Honduras's, typically you're looking at medium or dark roasts. This one, not so much. We're probably looking at a medium light. Um, we'll be interested to see how much that affects things. Typically, Honduras beans are, a little bit on the chonkier side. We do have bigger beans, which typically bigger beans handle bigger heat. So when you have the lighter roast, it smells kind of florally. I'll be really interested to see if they can get over the earthy notes because typically, again, with Honduras, you're looking at a longer time of heat on the beans, and then with longer heat, you get your milk chocolate, your caramel, your toffee kind of flavors. Um, with that being said, I mean, who knows? Who knows what we can? Who knows what we're gonna run into? It does smell a bit florally, so I'm expecting something along those lines. It smells like it's got a nice bold flavor, um, but I don't think it's going to be too bold. Naturally, again, when you go lighter, the acidity is lower, which then does not give you that bold pop at the end of the cup. But without further ado, enough talking about the coffee. Let's get to trying the coffee. Cheers, the first sip. Ooh. Ooh. That is fancy. So I'm very wrong. There's no floral in that at all. Um, I will say the lighter roast of it makes it very medium, or not medium, very smooth. It really doesn't have a kick at the end of it. The flavors are are quite strong. It's a very interesting cup of coffee. Um, you so there is some milk chocolate at the end. I'm going to say probably a bit of almond flavoring in it as well. But the start of it all is definitely some caramel. These lighter roasts that give off um, those dark roast flavor notes always baffle me. Um, just because you'd think that without the longer roasting that it would have a different effect. You know what I mean? Because Honduras's are typically known to be and have your chocolatey, your caramel, your like and like I said at the start of it all. The fact that these can have a lighter roast rating, not rating, but not roasted as long and still maintain those and have as much pop as this has, and the it's such a smooth finish. I personally look forward to those mainly for the finish. There's something about a nice dark roast. You know what I mean? Like the midnight oil one that we had that I was so looking forward to it and then just let down. I probably haven't had one of those super dark roasts. I think Riv redeemed it. It was like Pook's only here for the climax. No, not quite. Not quite. It's just my favorite part of the coffee. Like when you have my first roast rate, how's the acidity? It's actually not acidic at all, Sherlock. It's very smooth. What roast by you? There was one that we had that was super dark, like super duper dark, that had one hell of a punch at the end. But how we doing, Sherlock? The acidity, there's hardly any. It's not a very bold cup of coffee. Very smooth and quite delightful. It starts off the one I don't remember. I don't remember. I just remember there was one that was like pitch black. Like you held it up against the light and that you could use it as a black background. And I think it was one of yours, but I don't remember. But no, it's very it starts off really kind of sweet with that caramelly flavor. Good to hear, Sherlock. Nice coming in. Mmm. Maybe. I think Black Pearl that does seem familiar. I don't remember. I just remember there was one that was like dark, and that's definitely what I thought Midnight Oil was gonna be. It's okay, Throttle. All right, no worries. But no, it starts off kind of really sweet with a nice little caramel to it. Um, and it doesn't really get bold at all throughout the entire experience. You get a hint of almond in the middle of it, and then it really finishes off with milk chocolate. I will kind of put it together with um that last one of milk chocolate that Grace had. I think it was 2 weeks ago. It reminds me of that similarly, just because it kind of gives that chocolate milk feel, but it's not nearly as strong as that one was. It gives you a nice clean finish, and it's really even. I feel like even you coffee fanatics that need the creamer and sugar in your coffee in order to be able to drink it. This is one of those cups that I feel like you could definitely go without it and not be able to tell. Um, or I mean, you'd obviously be able to tell, but I don't think you would need it. I will say there even with it being smooth, I will say there is a slight bit of the acidity at the back end that I've noticed as I'm sitting here talking to you, describing the coffee. The longer you go without drinking it, it gives you more of that acidic taste. And I don't know if that's because like your palate's getting rid of the flavors that are the flavor notes of the coffee, and perhaps you are like dealing with just the coffee then, you know what I mean? Like you're getting rid of like the sweet flavor notes, and then so you're just getting what's left of the coffee. So it leaves kind of the slightly acidic aftertaste once you have experienced all the flavors, which is actually pretty interesting. Um all in all, I mean this is a really great cup of coffee. I think if it oop, I almost spilled it on the front of me. I think if it's darker roast, it definitely scores like super really good. But I think Gray's gonna have to settle for a 9 for this, just because it's good. It's really good. I think it could be better. Um, and she really really knocked it out of the park with these coffees. The only thing I'm sad to say is I will never be able to order more of that, because that is delightful. That is amazing. It is a great coffee. But that is your roast rate for today. I appreciate you all being here. And again, next week we will be breaking out the brand new espresso machine we're gonna have. We're gonna try the coffee we had last week that was designed and ground for espresso beans, and we're gonna bust that bad boy open. I probably won't make it the like inaugural usage of the machine, just because like my experience with the French press, um I did not make a good cup of coffee with the French press the first time that I did it, so I don't want it to be a similar rendition, especially considering we have limited amount of grounds for that. Typically, when you have your like specialty roasts and your specialty like it's a smaller amount, so I don't want to waste them. You know what I mean? So I'll probably be tinkering around with some of my other light roasts that I have sitting around. Especially, I've still got some of that Mexico bean that we gave Grace as a 10. So I imagine I'll probably try that because that sounds delightful. Let's still have a little bit of that left, and you don't need much for the espresso. I shouldn't say that because I've never made one. So, but I look forward to it. And again, Grace, thank you. I cannot say thank you enough. I will continue to say thank you. The amount that you support me baffles me. I don't know what I do to deserve you and all the great things that you do for me, girl, but you are amazing. Much love. Let's get back to the game, shall we?